Hello, beautiful souls. This is Cindy Kabika and Lorelei Robbins and Shivani Ganel. And today on the Soul View, we are going to be doing the fourth agreement. Always do your best. And this is one to me that really speaks to all of the other three that we have talked about before. So we're going to be talking about the fourth one, but we'll also talk about the other ones and how this applies. So we'll be getting to that in just a minute. Before we do, Lorelei, we need the cosmic weather because all kinds of weird stuff's going on right now. And boy, how do we need it?
I took 2 naps today at 2 different times. Well, I surrendered into the Cancer moon. I just, you know what, I'm tired and I'm just going to go with it. So this is a really powerful time. We're now in the balsamic phase of the moon. That's the phase before the new moon, where it's about like letting it all go and being open to the vision, being open to the divine guidance that's coming through, especially at this powerful time of the Lion's Gateway today. It's actually, this is a portal of energy that began on July 26th and will be in effect until the 12th of August. And it peaks on the 8th of August, always in the sign of Leo. And it's an opening. It's an energetic opening of knowing that we are divinity in physical form. And here's an opportunity to return to the heart. We're coming up on the Leo new moon, a partial solar eclipse on Saturday. Anytime there's an eclipse, you don't need to make it complicated. There's a change that can come. There's a change that the soul has wanted, that you or I may not be conscious of, but if it appears that things shift on a dime, there's an opportunity here, I believe, to heal any of the wounds around the heart that has been closed or the heart that has been shut down, and to really trust that we can live from that space and return to the heart space of delight and wonder and innocence of the child in all of us, whether we have Leo energy or not. So again, it's just a very powerful time of, showing up fully in every experience that you're in, knowing that there's an opportunity to be the joy of your spirit everywhere. So it's a pretty powerful time. And today and tomorrow, the moon's in Cancer. And, Cancer is the most emotional sign in the zodiac. I mean, like, really pay attention to how your body is speaking to you. Again, in the emotion of it, we get to be the mommy. And so I was the mommy to the part of me that was feeling tired. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to go lie down for another half hour. So and in my Facebook post today, I put, we are all our own parent. And the Cancer moon reminds us that no matter what our relationship with our mother is or was, we are the mommy now. And the quality of the nourishment and the nurturing we receive depends on how much we're willing to give that to ourselves first. And then we experience the ripple effect.
And that's not an easy thing to do.
No.
To mommy ourselves because we want somebody else to do it for us. That's why we have animals.
Yeah.
They kind of play that role for us in nurturing us, for sure. And so I kept seeing information about Lion's Gate. So thank you for explaining that because I really didn't know what it was. Can you tell me the dates again?
Yeah, it's July 26th through August 12th. And it's an alignment of the sun with the galactic center and the star Sirius. So it's just one of those very powerful gateways of energy. And the fact that it's coming during the Leo new moon solar eclipse would, again, to me, say those shifts of, where we didn't get what we needed as a child or people didn't pay attention to us. It's for us to pay attention to, it's for us to take delight in who we are, as opposed to, when we hold back or withhold because we're not getting the response or the accolades from someone else. So if there were ever a time to be like the little kid in your own life, 5 or 6 year old, just in total delight, or the puppy that just is in delight in pulling your trousers. Totally in the moment.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I love it. Well, Shivani, we had a somebody write in and actually was that it was to you because they really appreciated the story that you shared last week when we were talking about, don't make assumptions. And we were talking about, you were talking about going into this restaurant, assuming that they were going to be open. Of course you would. Who wouldn't? And they weren't there for you. And this woman can identify completely with what you went through. And she said, you really spoke to my soul. And she said, thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you back.
Yeah. I thought that was wonderful that you really, because everybody's had some kind of experience like that, and it sets us off because we make
I did it again personally. Like I just recently did it where I assumed when I picked up my puppy that A, he would come with a collar, B, he would come in a cage. Now I did not check it out. And so here I'm driving an hour and a half to pick up the puppy at a meeting place. And this man comes and goes, here's your puppy. I'm coming.
And nothing with your puppy, just here's the puppy. You're on your own.
A puppy drop.
Oh. At least when I picked up my rescue puppy, they gave me a little bag with a bunch of stuff in there for it, play toys. But I had a collar, an extra collar, which I want to put on him, even if I don't end up keeping this little puppy. But I got it for $1 on clearance, and it's perfect. Fits him great. It's a cat collar. He doesn't care.
No, he wouldn't.
No, he didn't care.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I'm becoming more aware about the assumptions, because they said he would come in a cage, like he was in a cage traveling up. So the assumption was, well, he will be handed over in a cage. Well, no. Mm-hmm. My last dog had a collar when he came. Well, I did not check it out. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the whole thing is we've got to check it out. We would love to know from all of you out there. If you want to go ahead and write in, we've got the chat box on the side, of course. We also, if you are on Facebook right now, Facebook Live, go ahead and put your comments in, and we will get to them in just a little bit. But, you'll look at this whole dynamic of these 4 principles, these 4 different agreements that we make. And when you look at making assumptions, which absolutely plays into taking it personally. We make an assumption and we take it personally, and then we can't be, we can't be impeccable with our word because we become reactive. And so one plays on the other. And here's the thing, all we can ever do is our best. Based on the mood that we're in. Today, fortunately, nothing has set me off today, though I'm not feeling really good today. It's been a very, very emotional day for me. And so, I have to just love myself right where I am. Will I make assumptions? I might. Will I, take things personally? Today I might, because that's where I am. All I can do is my best. I remind myself of those things and come from that place, and that's all any of us can do. So I'd love to hear from both of you about what this means to you.
Look, like 30 years ago, when I learned about yoga, because I used to teach yoga for 30 years, and there's such a thing as karma yoga, and I really got the principle and I loved it, and it's similar. So it's basically you do, like say you have a goal, right? And so it's on you to do everything you can. You give your absolute best, and then you have to let it go, and then God or the universe does the rest. And I really live from that principle, because yes, we can only do, like, yes, you need to do the action steps, whatever, and then let go.
That's it. And don't let somebody else drive that behavior for you, because you didn't do what your best wasn't good enough, or you hear those kind of comments and it shuts you down, and then it makes you give up. So
Yes.
don't listen to what somebody else says either. You know, if your best isn't good enough for them, that's on them. That's not about you. If you know that you did your best, that's what counts. That's the way I see it.
Mm.
Yeah,
Okay.
and as you were saying, the best can change from day to day. Like my best about not taking things personally, for instance, on one day, it may be easy. I may be very conscious and aware, and I go, oh, look at that. You could, and then there may be another day where I'm in the reaction of something. So I think to me, the always do your best is like this umbrella of a declaration that, again, like he says in the book, I'm going to do my best at not taking things personally. I'm going to do my best to be impeccable with. I'm going to do my best to not make assumptions. And so, you know, and he also makes the point, doing our best at being who we are, which is an interesting point since we've made so many agreements that we're still unconscious of, you know, and then to be able to consciously integrate these agreements, you know, into life is really exciting to me. You know, having read this years ago, and as we are revisiting these principles under all these retrogrades, especially Mercury, these principles could really sink in at a much deeper level than you know, like somebody could be rereading the book going, wow, I read this, but I don't remember that set, you know, that piece. That really is, you know, something I'm going to work with. So it's rich.
I love that because, you know, when we go back and we reread something, we didn't need it the first time. We needed something else. So we'll focus our attention on whatever that was. And now, you know, it might have been a completely different agreement. You know, for me, that is true. Because the first time that I read it, of course, it was all about being impeccable with your word. I had a situation going on at the time where that was critical to the healing of everybody that was involved. And that was a big deal. But right now, the one that speaks to me is, you know, do your best. Because sometimes, you know, like I said, I find myself beating myself up when somebody criticizes me, you know, and we all do that. We all do that. And we take those things personally. You know, then we start making assumptions. We try and fix something that's not broken for anybody but one person. And how many of us do that?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Have you had that, Shivani?
So my attention was just telling Lisa to watch my puppy.
Oh,
because
okay.
out the eye.
Well, I mean, the moon is in Cancer.
Look,
So
look what I know. What I did, I heard something. So I know for myself that depending who I am, and you know, if time goes by, I'm basically a different person. So 6 months later, right? And then when I pick up the same book, something different will speak to me, and even in a maybe deeper way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that, you know, and that's what we were just saying. You know, it's something different is going to come out each time that we read them. I'm doing, you know, every summer I always reread something a series, and I'm doing the Three Pines, you know, Inspector Gamache. I love the series, and so I'm going through that again, and I picked up on things that I never got the first time, and it takes me deeper into the story, and it's really fascinating, you know, to be able to do that. Harry Potter, I've probably gone through that like 8 times, or maybe a couple of them, probably more. And each time I learn something different and do the parallel to the world, you know, what's going on around us. And even in the Inspector Gamache, everything that's going on politically in the world, you know, these stories were written a long time ago and they apply to what's going on now. And so, you know, you have a different consciousness.
Exactly.
Today. So each of you, as you read this book, as you read the 4 agreements, here it is again. Everybody got their copy? You know, go ahead and read
it again. Loyalties from it, by the way.
Right. We're not anything. That's all we can do.
And what another reason why it's very timely to be rereading something like this, agreement is a Libra construct. And the planet of value, Venus, the planet of love, the planet of pleasure and creativity, just shifted into Libra a couple of days ago, where, you know, it takes Venus about a year to go through the zodiac, the signs of the zodiac. So that means that we can all really find a new appreciation and value in agreements we may have made that are working, or agreements that aren't working. It's like, what do we want to agree to? Because that's very Libran in nature. So again, it's like the cosmos is sort of affirming that by reading this now, that whole notion of that we made agreements and the whole domestication of the planet and all of that, you know, that we agreed to things as children that we weren't even conscious of. So now, you know, we can be conscious of what it is we're agreeing to. So it just, again, seems to me that this time frame of the next month or so is a really powerful time to sort of embody or integrate these principles on a deeper level, where it works for where we want to go.
Mm-hmm.
And one agreement I additionally make with myself, especially if I have a tendency to beat myself, I actually don't have the tendency anymore, but I used to, when I felt I didn't do my best, and then I decided, okay, I need to become my best friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because we are so harsh with ourselves. And if you then actually imagine, okay, so what would your best friend say about this? It's very different.
Yeah, and that's a really good point. And the best friend would probably say something like, look at this. You've come such a long way, because a month ago you would have reacted that way, totally unconsciously. You might have just totally obliterated that person. And look what you did today. You took a deep breath and you just were quiet, or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
So that's a great...
Instead of, you suck, you didn't do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Leo's the sign of celebration, celebrating. And to me, we have to celebrate all of these little successes. Like, I had a client today that I've had for a few years, and I love what happens with her, because, you know, she sees where she can celebrate how she's doing something differently than she did a month ago or 2 months ago or whatever. So, you know, it's like we need to be the little kid excited about the progress that we're making of being conscious, of waking up.
Yeah, yeah.
I love that. You know, I think about my grandson. He's over visiting today, and I haven't seen him a lot this summer because he's created this online community, and it's priceless to watch him. But he brought me this schematic, and I looked at it, and the detail of this schematic that he created, it was a complete map for what he's doing. It was impeccable. First of all, it was absolutely impeccable. And I'm looking at it and I said, Chase, this is incredible. You have such a gift. My mind wouldn't even go there to be able to create something at such extraordinary detail. And I said, you have a brilliant mind. And his mouth dropped open and he said, you don't know how much I needed to hear that, because people have been really critical of what I'm doing. And I find myself beating myself up going, how come I can't do what this person does or that person does? And he was comparing himself to what other people do. And I'm looking at this schematic and going, oh my gosh, who can do this? He can. And it is incredible. I mean, I just can't even tell you, you know, and I don't understand what he does. But looking at that, I was able to follow it. And it was extraordinary detail. And, you know, this is a man that can be an engineer, you know, if he so chooses. That's such a gift. And we need other people to tell us. And then once we hear that from someone, it is really important to call on that voice whenever you're starting to feel down or beat yourself up. I hear my grandpa Kabika saying to me all the time, you know, when I was 10 years old, someday you make Kabika name famous. You know, every day, you know, I hear that Czech voice, that Czech accent. I'm not good at it, everybody, but I had a strong Czech accent. He said, someday, little Cindy, you make Kabika name famous. And so each day that I'm thinking, how am I going to move forward with what I'm doing and really, be a voice for people, and I beat myself up, and then I remember Grandpa's voice. And that gets me through. And I want to be that voice for Chase, or either of my grandchildren, Sarah too. And, she called this morning with all this weird energy and saying, Nana, I sure could use a hug. This has been a rough day. And I said, come on, I need a hug too. So, we were in a hug fest today and just supporting each other. And then when those times when we do our best and our best isn't good enough for someone else, we have to call on the voices that remind us how great we are.
Yeah. Because all that's triggering in that other person is where their best isn't good enough for them.
Right.
That has nothing to do with us. Yeah.
It really doesn't. It really doesn't. And they're judging us on what they've been judged on in their lives. And that's it's not pretty. It's not fun. So I would love to go to the comments and everybody saying hi to each other over there. And
okay. I've got Carol saying, well, that's regarding my story. The store owner was not impeccable with his word and therefore took it personally. That's true. Absolutely. When he heard the customer and reacted, making an assumption that she was mad and telling him off, which stirred up any possible guilt he might be experiencing. Boy, it goes on and on. You got it, Carol. Wow. Okay, Sat Prem says, thank you for the reminder that it's not backsliding or lacking or failing if I'm better at response one day than another. And Anne says, would love to see the puppy. It's coming. All our animals.
Do you want to go get your puppy? Everybody is just waiting to see your puppy.
I know.
I'll show you mine if you show me yours.
That's it.
He needs a playpen, right, Shivani?
Yeah. Oh my God, he needs something. I'll tell you.
Next week, I'll just announce very quickly, we are going to have a show all about animals and what we have done before the animals actually came into our lives. And a lot of magic here. There's a little sadness along the way, but there's a lot of magic too, and it's quite incredible. So we are going to be talking about our animal companions, and that will be on the 15th. So is that right? Next week? Next Wednesday, yeah. Is the 15th. And then we're going to have a follow-up show to that where we are going to have Danielle McKinnon on. She is an animal communicator and healer. She's amazing. So she's going to be doing a follow-up in September as well. So we are very excited about that. But
and her book really changed, again, my understanding to a much, much deeper understanding, and seeing my puppy basically as the teacher, and boy oh boy, he's teaching me a lot already, I'll tell you.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, because he's expressing aspects of you.
Yeah. And something I need to integrate, structure.
The part of you that would like to be undisciplined enough to pee on the floor. Right?
I love it. Well, if you want to grab him real quick, Shivani, if he's close by, or if Lisa can bring him by, that would be.
Yeah, I can. Hang on. I'll grab him.
Okay. And then in the meantime, I don't know if you can get on Facebook. I'm going to try.
I will.
I don't have my other computer down here.
Yeah, no, I can.
Okay. Let's see. And Lorelei, while you're looking that up, I'm going to go grab my little friend. Is that okay with you?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll be right back. If I can tear him away from everybody else.
So they say there's nothing worse than dead air, right, folks? So I'm going to say something.
Let me see. Here is the baby. Meet Akash, the Rhodesian Ridgeback. Hey, little baby. Yes, and we want to bite, and we have all these super sharp piranha teeth, really. Hey, is that right, Akash? Oh, yes. Yes, little baby. Hey, little baby.
Little baby? Little?
Yeah.
This one's a little baby. Yours is a big baby.
Yeah, well. Okay.
And they are the same age, everybody. I'm going to show you
Oh, not
the same age. You want to say hi to everybody?
Hello, Moondog.
Yeah, I'm calling him Moondoggy for now. He's
Look,
he's a rescue, and I have him for about a week, and he's helping me heal from my other little puppy. So, but he might end up being a permanent.
Never the same.
Everybody has fallen in
He
love.
doesn't want to bite. He's teething. Yes, of course he is, Eileen. I get them. And yes, I agree. He loves his deer antler. At the moment, we can't find it. It's somewhere. I agree. I know.
I think we just lost Lorelei for a minute. She'll come right back.
Yeah, Leon. Yes.
Okay, she'll be back in
I
just a
know.
minute.
It's teething.
There you
Here we
are, Lorelei. We lost you for a second. Oh, we can't hear you.
Oh. Yes.
Now you can hear me. Okay.
Oh, there we go.
I was saying, isn't this interesting? They tell me that cosmic weather doesn't work, right? The moon's in Cancer, which is a sign of mother, and here you guys are with your puppy. I mean, it's perfect. So I would say if anyone in the audience, or if you're watching this on a replay and you have an animal, I would suggest this would be the time to.
Oh, hang on. Yes, you can do this one. Yeah, we haven't found the antler. I agree. That was a good one. He loves it. Come and do this.
That's a chew toy?
Well, it's a stick. It's a natural stick.
What
He loves the stick too. You see?
a beautiful
Anything to chew on, isn't it?
But these little guys can really teach us, all we can do is our best. And even they do their best as going through the little puppy training. This one, whoever had him, definitely did a good job of training him. He likes to go outside and go potty, and he's already he's 10 weeks, and he's pretty well trained. So whoever had him, before he was in the shelter, spent a lot of time with him.
Do you need a puppy therapy group, Shivani?
Oh, I tell you, now that I had not broken sleep for 2 nights, I feel like a new person. So anybody who's a mom and had babies, like, my God, I know what you guys are doing.
That's the way it is with the puppy. Now, he slept with my sister last night. She said, "This is my kind of puppy," and she took him and slept with him. I wasn't going to let him be bad.
Doing the table. Oh, you rascal! I know.
Okay. Any comments did you say that we had on Facebook?
I was just
No.
We digress, everybody. Sorry, we're no, I'm not. We're doing our best.
exactly right. That's exactly right.
Thank you, Lisa. Let me have a look. I do have Energized Living here.
I'm not seeing any up there.
Yeah, I'm just refreshing, but it doesn't look like it.
Okay. Let's see here.
Oh, hang on. Precious babies from Vicky. Janine, thank you for sharing your fur babies. Love, Danielle. Vicky says that. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. We are looking forward to the animal show. Will be.
Yeah, we really are looking.
Well, we got 2 puppies and 1 kitten.
Same.
And where's your kitty?
Oh, I'll get her. She's right here.
Okay, we got to show the kitty too.
Oh, Moxie.
Yep, that's Moxie. And this puppy, I'm calling Moondoggy for now.
Do the moon thing again.
Okay, everybody, I'll show you this. Okay, this is the dark of the moon right here. This is the new moon. And then all of the moon phases, move your head all the way around until you get to the full moon. So I'm sorry. Anybody know who Moondoggie is? Or you write it in if you know who that is, if you remember. Go ahead and write it in. There's some people I know that are my age that will know who that is. That will remember. It's probably back in your mind somewhere going, who was that? I'll give you a hint. Gidget.
Yes, I remember.
I'm from Australia and Germany. I haven't got a clue what you're talking about.
Okay, look up Gidget and Moondoggie.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will.
Yeah.
I will.
Sandra D.
Yeah. Yeah.
So anyways, anything else that that you want to mention about this one? I'm going to
Well, again, to me, it's just the perfect umbrella for all of them. You know, for me, again, instead of just being critical of myself if I get defensive or reactive, to know that I'm doing my best in those areas gives me an opportunity to breathe and reconnect to my heart space. So, you know, and it's amazing how, you know, revisiting these agreements, how I'm seeing them play out in my life, you know, in terms of, wow, I can ask, you know, it's like I feel bolder about saying to someone, you know, I don't want to make an assumption here. So, you know, in the past, I wouldn't have done that. I would have waited until I'd made the assumption and then been pissed off or something.
and we all do it. And again, you know, this agreement is just doing your best with where you are that day.
Right.
Because things happen. You know, things happen all the time that changes our mood. And sometimes things are so beyond our control. You know, I'm experiencing that today, and there's not a thing I can do about it. And all I can do with all these agreements is the best I can do today.
Yeah.
You know,
and it also, like, I remember clients that work with, say, shame and guilt and regret. Yeah. And I always say, look, because they think they've done something wrong or not good enough, or they should have reacted differently, right? But I think in hindsight, that's very easy to say. But at that moment of time, again, I remind everybody, you did the best you could with what you knew how to do and who you were at that moment.
Yeah,
that's exactly right. You know, and my granddaughter recently said, you know, I don't know why I did that when I was, you know, 18 years old, and I should have known better. And I said, why? Why should you? You're trying to impose what you know now today on your 18-year-old self. And you didn't know that. You know that now because of that.
Right.
That's how you gained this wisdom, and now you know. And she said, I never thought of looking at it that way. That's how we learn.
Yeah. And I mean, the other thing is, I give this example, talking about babies or toddlers. I mean, how often does you know, if a toddler tries to walk, how often do they fall back on their bum? You know, they don't say to themselves, damn, I should have done that the first time.
That's
you know, like...
If they do, we know they have returned. They have been here before.
Yeah, they're not making themselves wrong, right? And we are, I think, making ourselves wrong or being really hard on ourselves is really something we learned.
And making ourselves wrong is not being impeccable with our word, essentially.
Yeah,
that comes right back to that.
Yeah. Let's have a look. Okay. And good for me to remember on the days I feel down, compassion and love self, where I'm doing my best I can versus judge for not being in higher vibration. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we can do a number.
And you know, and I reckon if you can actually be loving towards yourself within that, it will up your vibration.
Mm-hmm.
That's what actually brings your vibration higher then.
And if the judgment comes from someone else, you can send that back to them because it doesn't belong to you. That's somebody else's judgment of the situation. You know, don't take that on. Yeah, that's somebody else's.
About that. Here we go again, my sound.
Yeah. We can hear you, Lauren.
Or if you do take it on, then work with your own judgment that you may have. Whether it's with yourself or with others, because then that's coming up to be healed.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Lorelei, what are we going to be feeling this next week? And let's go ahead and, while people are still writing in more comments, let's go ahead and let us know what we're going to be feeling, because I feel all kinds of strange energy going on. Right?
Well, again, we're at the end of a lunar cycle, but again, we're in this very magical time of the balsamic moon, which I must say, it's a phase I understand less than others. So I'm really like surrendering into it. And it is a time like we've done the cleaning, and now it's time to just sort of allow and trust and have faith and release any anxiety and the insights that can come now, the ideas or the, from that heart and soul space where you go, my God, I didn't think about that before. So again, it's an opportunity to plant seeds that have to do with anything that has to do with the heart, whether it be the physical heart, the emotional heart, confidence and courage, and returning to that essence of the wonder and the joy of the child. So this is a time to be, this is when I start to think about, what new moon wishes am I going to plant? What do I want to plant in this soil? Because remember, we've been in this very powerful eclipse time. This is the third eclipse. Usually there are two. This is the third one. So it's almost like there we go, the magic of three again. And at eclipses, things that we didn't think could change can change. And in terms of this Leo eclipse, this is an opportunity again to release the heart, to unchain the heart from wherever it's been in chains. And that would come very likely from when we were kids, let's say a little kid, that's singing, and the parent says, or somebody says, oh, you don't have a very good voice, and they never sing again. I mean, I'm just using it as an example, but wherever that's operating for anybody, where you shut down because of some place not being acknowledged or loved or validated. And of course, here's the opportunity under the Leo new moon to give that heart energy to ourselves. And then it comes from everywhere else. But the more we hold out, like waiting for that validation or that approval or that praise from someone else, that's when the challenges in relationships happen, because we're putting a burden on someone else that we're not willing to do for ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we have another comment as a question, and well done. Thanks for asking that, Edith. I didn't understand the link between making myself wrong and being impeccable with my word. Anyone?
Well, because if you're making yourself wrong, you're probably saying things I would be saying things to myself like, boy, you can't get that right again. Or, gee, you could have done that better. Or what is so-and-so going to say if you don't do it? That's not being impeccable with your word, because you're saying things to yourself that are automatically going to lower your vibration rather than raise the vibration. I hope that makes sense.
What good is it to make yourself small? That's not in being impeccable to ourselves, to our own word that we give ourselves. That's the way that I look at it. And how many of us start beating ourselves up and making ourselves feel small about something?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's that low vibration that Lorelei was talking about. So it has everything to do with it.
And it just makes you feel miserable anyway. It won't change anything, right?
Right. Did you see Maureen's comment here? The magic of the child. Today I went to see the Christopher Robin movie and had the opportunity to revisit the simple wisdom of Pooh. Oh, how beautiful, Maureen.
Yeah, love it.
Hey, maybe I should call him Pooh.
I don't know. Moondoggy really fits.
I like Moondoggy. I think Moondoggy fits too. My dad really liked it, but we'll see. we don't even know if he's going to be a permanent member yet, but I have a feeling nobody's going to let him go. But he's a good healer. Look at this.
I'm amazed they let puppies try out for a week.
I don't think it's the usual. It's not a usual.
For me, that would be so cruel, you know, like the animal gets used to it.
It's rescue and
it's like, no, I don't want you.
No, but I'm acting like a
foster.
A foster.
Yeah.
Got it.
For this purpose, for a week. That's what I'm doing.
Okay, got it.
So,
yeah.
you know, that's what I'm doing, and I needed a puppy, and they needed a place for a puppy. So
yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah, okay, then I get that. Okay. Because it's like puppy tryout. Actually, my breeder said, and you can't give him back, and you can't send him back. Didn't even think of the option, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She says how sweet he is. Don't see how you could let him go.
Exactly. I don't think we're going to.
It's yours.
Everybody that's met him says, this is a Gary dog, my husband. They said, this is a Gary dog. And this dog, he's pretty.
I mean, look, he's like a rag doll, you know, like
he's whoever had him before, you know, before he was abandoned, definitely spoiled him. And
mine is very feisty.
Yeah. Well, how many? The 15 brothers and sisters all at once? I know I didn't.
Yes.
But a whole bunch.
Yeah.
So he had to fend for himself.
Yeah, he did.
Well, this has been wonderful, everybody. And any questions or comments that you have, please put them over to the side. And do we have any more that you want to?
No, I just looked. No,
all
not
right.
on.
I didn't see anything on Facebook, but maybe it's just not showing up because I'm the one that's.
Everybody's taking a nap.
I just refreshed. That's right. Anyways,
this has been.
Last time.
What was that, Shivani?
Oh, I'm just looking whether we have one more comments, but we don't.
Okay.
Oh, hang on. It's fostering, which is, okay, Cindy Weber is saying it's fostering, which is awesome for the puppy to get into a home and out of the stressful shelter situation.
Yeah.
I think Cindy's going to be a foster failure.
Thanks, Cindy.
I reckon you're right.
Because I'm going to adopt every animal.
Can't leave him. Can't give him back. I love it.
Oh well.
Yes, that's my bet too.
Oh, this has been fun. Well, it's so great to spend this time with you, everybody. And again, comments on the side, comments on Facebook. If you are watching our YouTube channel, love to hear your comments. Go ahead and comment below, like our video, and also subscribe to our channel. We are trying to grow that channel, so we love it when you go and make comments and subscribe to us. So it is the Soul View. And
next week is the animal show, remember?
Yep. Next week is the animal show. So bring your animals, everybody. Bring your animals, because we might just, we'll have to ask Ferris how we can do this, but we might just open up the call so that we can see a few of the animals. Just let us know you want to show your critters. I think that would be fun, don't you?
That would be absolutely fun.
Yeah, that would be fun. So we'll let you know if we can do that or not. I don't know with this kind of format what we can do here, but we're going to find out and we'll let you know. Until next time, everyone, much love to you, and namaste.
Namaste.
Namaste, everybody.